may summarize from what you've just heard that this might become rather grim. And for some of you, it may, because I'm not going to perform a card trick. What I hope to do is to show you a magic that makes magic magic. What I mean is to show you what a little imagination and thinking can do for even the simplest effect to make it memorable. Memorable theater for your audience. Not just a parade of conjuring conundrums. Oh, no, that is not to denigrate the magical performer in any way. Just as there is classical music and popular music, both are demanding art forms, and there's a demand for both. There are many venues where bizarre magic may be performed, and many personas that the performer may assume to present a believable miracle. You could portray yourself as an innocent victim of some weird situation. Or you could be the Van Helsing type, a savant of the occult. Or even the mysterious practitioner of the arcane. But be yourself. Not someone you are not, but perhaps just something you are not. Don't be too theatrical. Let the mood of the effect be primary. For instance, let me show you this little artifact that I picked up on a trip to Scotland just recently when I was scouting around in the Highlands, and I came across a cairn or a pile of rocks out on the moors. And I found this little handcrafted nail, a beautiful example of an ancient craft. And when I got back to the lodge, I inquired about that cairn, and I was told that this was a place where old Goody Nan had been burnt at the stake for being a witch. And this nail was probably one that was used to nail her hands to the stake. A rather bizarre way of confining her. But today, if you hold this nail between your fingers and concentrate on it, you can almost see a miasma of evilness rising from it and smell a burning flesh. Here, you hold it. But perhaps it was just imagination. John, have you ever had your cards read?
No.
Oh, we'll try it today. But we'll try it my way. Rather bizarre. Because here I have a deck of tarot. For centuries, men have been trying to prove or disprove the efficacy of the psi factor. I won't do anything quite that mundane. What I'm going to try to do is take you back to the genesis of all this. Back to the beginning. Back to the time of the schools of mysticism that existed eons ago, before our modern epistemologists turned their back on magic out of a fear spawned by ignorance, or even ignorance spawned by fear. Back to the times when magic was real. Remember one thing. What man knows, he calls science. What he has yet to learn, he calls magic. Both are real. Don't think this is witchcraft or black magic. It's not. Just a psychodynamic experiment to see if all of this wisdom of those sages back then were valid. And I ask you one thing, Jen. your cooperation, because the elements with which we will be working are fragile and unpredictable, and any sudden outburst could, if not be dangerous, at least detrimental to the proceedings. So let us try to fulfill your karmic possibilities here with this deck of cards. Just to make it easy, let us take some of these cards and find, oh yes, just the major arcana. There. And I want you, just very arbitrarily, pick one that happens to look a little pretty to you. You feel a predilection to touch. Look them over. Sort through them. Jan, I want it to be your card. Here. Fine. That is your destiny, then. You'll take the rest and put them aside. The Empress, the Queen card. And your card, you'll place someplace in the deck. So. And now we shall do obeisance to the god, Visago. I conjure thee, Visago, keeper of yet to be, hear my call and obey me. By those of Sandor and those of old, there is a future here to unfold. I command thee, comport among us, so mote it be. Look, the hand of Visago doth move amongst the cards. And he has indicated your cards. Here we have the Chariot. A very fortunate trip is in your future. You are contemplating perhaps a change, a new venue. And behold, the Ace of Clubs. It shall be very beneficial for you. You have been thinking about this for some time. And the third card, it is but Visago's way of addressing you, the Empress. The rite is ended. Greetings, companions. I'm delighted to tell you of a new arrival in the Magia's oubliette. A recent shipment from the digs at Cardor has just arrived, and it is proclaimed to be none other than the hoof print of Pazuzu. I've inspected it, and unfortunately, in transit, the dirt was disturbed. And this tray is nothing other than the dirt on which, at one time, eons back, the feared god, Pazuzu, had trod. Unfortunately, there is no physical evidence that we can see. But fortunately, I do have here a scroll that proclaims to have an incantation that would conjure back, briefly, but for a moment perhaps, Pazuzu. Let us try. Dinerat, Serem Erbekara, Aman Batu Akar Aberine, Semet and Netor. Yes, I'm sure this is it. Watch. More. Habit. Ekebe. Hava. Also. Oh no. Oh my God. Yes. 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 Bazuzu. Damn you back to the pit of fire and flame from which I came. So be it. The rite is ended. This is wonderful. Can you believe that? What's going on? We should have some, maybe.
You need some salt on the apple.
No, I think we ought to put the apple back in the ground.
Yes.
Dusty, it's so wonderful having you.
Yes, good.
And Mary. I've waited so long to meet both of you. And after some of my travels, I've always said, golly, I wish the blood of Dusty Clavant were here to share my trips. And I had something that I think would really interest the both of you. Was when I was in Egypt, I was just off the Valley of the Kings, and they had a valley there where every stone, every piece was bigraved with the strangest hieroglyphics you ever saw in your life. And many of them are still not translated. And I even took a small shard that I have here somewhere. Oh, yeah. Away, because I knew you were going to be here, and I thought it would be a wonderful piece for your collection. And you see all of these very strange pieces of hieroglyphics and that are bigraved on this piece of obsidian. And the thing that I think that this actually came from the altar of Hathor. Oh. And the god or goddess, I'm not sure which, who always provides great riches for those who do obeisance to the goddess Hathor. And I want it to be yours. But before I give it to you, I'd like very much just to try it out tonight, because the moon has gone down. And we'll put it here so I can read the inscriptions. I'm not sure that I'm translating them right. And I have here in my pocket something I picked up at the museum in Cairo, which is an old mummy winding. I'm sure you recognize this kind of material. And we'll just put it down here like this. Well, we'll get it back nearly like it was. And we'll put it there. Unfortunately, Hathor demands a sacrifice. And I wouldn't really ask that of either of even you. and since I have a sufficient amount of it coursing through my veins, and it's my test, let me try it out. I was prepared, if you don't mind. A straight edge razor. Sure. A common instrument in Chicago. And a forearm. Should be enough for Hathor. Just a drop or two. Oh, mistress, Marfak, I, your savant, doth claim his due. Reward me. Command thee. Marfak. And Mary, look. A ruby. a perfect ruby. And I want you to have it. Here. Hold this and think of all the wealth you have. What's the matter?
I felt something.
You felt something?
Yes.
Ah. She was not a believer. There's nothing but the sands of the Nile. A small reminder that those that believe can be rewarded. Dusty, better luck.
Oh, thank you. I'll have to learn. Wonderful.
Thank you. Hawthorne.
Go.
Jan, it is so very kind of you to have this party and everything and then invite me. I appreciate it so much.
Well, we're so glad you were able to make it, Terry.
Oh, you're such a charming hostess. And I noticed from your house that you've done extensive traveling in Germany and France and everywhere, England. And have you ever been to Haiti?
No.
Oh, strange place. As a matter of fact, recently I was there, and I discovered something that I didn't know about their voodoo and voodoo, as they call it down there. And you know about the sympathetic magic of sticking pins into a puppet or a little effigy of people.
I've heard something about it, yes.
Scare you? Well, what I discovered was, let me put this out for a moment, is that they had, if you were a mage or a person with the power, the puppet is all very good, but the most dangerous thing is to ever let them have the outline or the imprint of your hand, your right hand, the hand of your future, because with that they can conjure. Let me show you something here. Do you mind if I move all this?
No, oh no.
Huh?
Let's make some room.
Oh, I got ashes everywhere, haven't I? But, may I just pour that over there for a second? To ever let the outline of your right hand to fall into the grasp of a nefarious conjurer or witch is the worst thing in the world. And I'm sure you're not one of those. But let's play a little game. Let's play, perhaps, that you are a conjurer, and I am going to be your victim. Just for tonight.
Okay.
All right. It's going to be hard for you, I know. But I want you just to mentally select one of those fingers. Not one of these. One of those.
Okay.
Have you done it?
Yes.
Splendid. Let me just put it on a plate here. And with this cigarette, I want you to burn me. Not me. One of those, the fingertip that you thought about.
Okay.
All right? And I'm going to give you this cigarette as your wand of power. And I want you, I'm taking a chance here, to just burn the fingertip of the finger that you thought of. Will you do that?
Okay.
Hate me, hate me, hate me, hate me. Oh, that's good enough. Have you done that?
Yes. Look. Oh, my goodness.
And you know what is strange? If I hold my hand, and on my little finger, look at that blister. You evil child, you.
Oh, Tony, how did you do that?
But fortunately, I know another incantation. Sing it on. It's gone. You're a beautiful witch, lady.
That's amazing.